All right, I came across a TikTok talking about a small wormhole. And wormholes, basically, what I understand them to be, is right before we figure out how to time travel. You know, a wormhole lets you time travel. So, if time travel is real, that's crazy. But, yeah, I've looked up a couple YouTube videos and react on them. Um, yeah, and we're gonna do the news for today. It's a little late, but hey, got a couple things up my sleeve. Bye. Okay. Yes, sir. So, it's RP to Tina Turner's son, Ronnie. Victoria Beckham said she ain't got no job. Brittany Griner, her shaved locks. Let's see. Let's look at Brittany Griner shaved locks. Big Juzzle, her lock. Oh, so you can only see him from afar? Oh, okay, that's okay. The Russian president says that Russia may formally change its. Oh, she doing anything. She doing a 6-week financial literacy course for the youth. I hope she stand the test of time. She keep her little money going on, cause baby, music ain't in my dog. Leave it alone. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Shout out to Starburst. I saw them the whole Starburst. Shout out to Playo News. If you and your brand need a promotion, need promotion, come holler at me. KelsBallAllNight at gmail.com. I'll give it to you again. I say it fast all the time. KelsBallAllNight at gmail.com. One more time. KelsBallAllNight at gmail.com. If you need any Playo News, not any Playo News, any advertisement. Because I got different websites hitting me up about advertisement. Now we're talking about those numbers. So yeah, if you need any advertisement, man, let me know. We're getting that under works right now. But the name of the video, we're talking about time travel. So here we go. Let's check this out. It says the man who claimed he built a time machine suddenly vanished, but now he reappeared years later. This was posted 2 months ago. So let's look at the most clicked moments.
Build a time machine. He started building this device on the porch of his home in Stanbury, Missouri, the USA. Mike named his device Jacob's Ladder. He was only 21 years old at the time and studying to become an electrician. During the process of learning
My bad, y'all.
He began messing around with the hardware and came up with the idea of creating a time machine. Mike truly enjoyed playing around on his porch with the newly acquired electrical knowledge, but his ticket to fame were his 1996 and 1997 appearances on Art Bell's radio show called Coast to Coast. In these appearances, he talked about his experiments associated with time travel. And then, soon after these radio shows, Mike Markham disappeared without a trace. Strangely, a few months later, a person called in Art's show with a mind-boggling story. The caller recalled an incident from the 1930s when a dead body was discovered on a California beach. The body was of a man and was mangled within a strange metal tube. There was a device with the body that looked a lot like a cell phone. The bizarre turn of events raised many questions, and the most asked one was whether this was the first ever documented case of time travel. Markham's device used a modified compact disc laser. It was used to reduce the air resistance between two poles. This in turn led to the production of a continuous arc. Markham noticed an unexpected result when he turned his device on. There was a heat mark, one like the mark you would see on a hot pavement, only it had a circular shape like that of a vortex. Mike decided to throw a sheet metal screw through this vortex to see what happens. He was curious to find out what he had stumbled upon. According to him, the screw disappeared for almost half a second and reappeared a few feet away a second later. Marcus believed that the Jacob's ladder causes an arc of electricity to travel in a cyclical way between two metallic rods. He continued experimenting in order to reproduce his results, but after a few more rounds, the CD...
Man, I think like when it's hot outside and you see those waves on the ground, I always thought like that was like opening up to another dimension. I always thought that. Like the heat was showing us a whole nother world that we regularly couldn't see. I don't know.
The laser caught on fire. Now this motivated Markham to build this device again from scratch, but he thought if he had to build it all over again, why not use much bigger transformers to reproduce the results on a bigger level? Unfortunately, Markham didn't have enough money to fund his project, so he actually stole 6 300-pound transformers from a power generation site in King City. Markham was considered smart.
Shout out Cushman Baller.
And apparently the reason he was so keen to build a time travel machine was that he wanted to get the winning lottery numbers from the future. However, he needed a lot of power to make this thing work, and that's why he resorted to stealing. He also caused a mass blackout several blocks throughout his neighborhood in trying to perfect the invention. He was soon arrested inside his own home by the Gentry County Sheriff Eugene Lupfer, who had arrived with a warrant because he had stolen the transformers. This happened on January the 29th, 1995. Markham had to spend several months in prison before he was released. That was when he was invited on the radio show as a guest for Art Bell. On the show, Mike narrated the story of his experiment with the screw and also his plans to build a time machine. He did promise the public to do it legally this time around. He also gave off his phone number on air and as a result received hundreds of calls from listeners who offered him many things, including innovative ideas and financial help. With the help of his listeners, Markham was able to build another time machine, and this one was much bigger and more powerful than the previous one. Soon enough, Markham landed in hot water with the law again and was evicted from his apartment. He was accused of allegedly using his machine to transport a cat over a block away. Markham stood his ground and said this was untrue. A year later, Art Bell asked Markham to appear on the show once again.
So they accused him of his shit working. Okay, we getting someplace, y'all.
To which he complied. This time he claimed that his new time machine was much more similar to the one the US military was using in the Philadelphia experiment. This machine employed a rotating magnetic field to travel in time-space. Markham claimed that his machine was big enough for a man to walk into, and he would be ready to actually try it out in a few weeks. Art Bell asked Mike what he was planning to take with him in the machine, to which he replied, "Just my cell phone." In an article, the Nexus online magazine claimed that Markham received a hefty sum of $20,000 the second time he appeared on the radio show Coast to Coast. He was also given a warehouse in Kansas City and equipment worth $1 million to continue with his experiments. During his last appearance on the show, Markham said he was exactly 30 days away from completing his legal time machine. Markham built the time machine several feet in the air inside his Kansas City warehouse, and he reportedly began throwing guinea pigs inside the circular vortex as it formed. According to him, these pigs would disappear in the vortex and appear again in the parking lot of the warehouse on the east or west side every single time, that they never reappeared on the south or north side. The article also reported that in 1998, Markham decided it was time to test the machine on himself. He jumped into the ark, and according to him, he woke up to find himself in a farm field in Ohio. He recalled being cold, hungry, and miles away from the closest town. He somehow made his way to a homeless shelter located in Cincinnati, only to find out that he was in the year 2000. Somehow he lost 2 years during his journey in time. According to Markham, when he returned to his Kansas City warehouse, there was no sign of his notes.
Because they never, so this shit might be like really like click, like you throwing yourself in a different universe. Like really like, okay, you in the same universe, but you putting yourself in a different universe. This is what this really could be. And it's like, okay, we already know that it's not just us. So if you guys go ahead and let us know how to time travel, well, how to universal travel, because it's not really time travel. Like we've been just going to different universes, a parallel universe that we were never was supposed to be in. Or we probably supposed to be in this universe. I don't know. Let's see.
Record or the time machine. It was completely empty. This story went viral quite quickly, but there's no way of finding out if the Kansas City experiments were real or not, as since 1997, Mike was never heard from again. But a few months after Mike weirdly vanished from the face of the earth, a listener called in Art Bell's radio show and claimed to know what happened to Markham. According to the listener, police had found a dead body in California back in the 1930s. The body was crushed inside a metal tube and was unrecognizable. A device resembling a cell phone was also found beside it. Many believe that this was in fact Mike's body. So did he actually manage to successfully travel back?
Netflix killed Blockbuster. Uber killed taxi cabs.
So my thing is like, if you time travel, it only takes one person to time travel to change the whole paradigm of this universe. That's probably why it's so many different universes. Because whoever time traveled to this universe mucked it up to their liking or to their unliking. Now I can go to my universe and come like this probably is the home universe, and we go out to different universe and change those universes to our liking. But we understand home universe. This is what the basic principles are. So you understand the basic principles. You time travel, well, you universal travel away. And it's funny that this is called U2, because if he was in a metal tube and this is called universal travel, that's going to be called a U-tube that you're traveling in, because it's a universal tube for universal travel. Oh wow! Hold on.
A device resembling a cell phone was also found beside it. Many believe that this was in fact Mike's body. Guess we'll never really know. Mike's story is definitely intriguing, but it is definitely not the first time people have been inclined to consider time travel a possibility. There are many devices known for allegedly successfully enabling time travel. One such device is called the chronovisor. According to Italian Benedictine monk Pellegrino Ernetti, the Vatican, with the help of a few notable scientists, had succeeded in inventing a machine that enables people to look back into time. Although the existence of this device hasn't been proven so far, a book by a Vatican priest named Father Francois Brunet claims that this is a real invention. It was allegedly kept a secret until the early 1960s when Ernetti confided in Brunet about this. Apparently, 12 scientists had been involved in its creation, including the famous physicist Enrico Fermi and the ex-Nazi scientist Werner von Braun. This device was made of cathode rays, antennae, and metals that could receive light and sound signals on almost all wavelengths. The chronovisor acted like a window which people could use to witness historic events, and maybe the future ones too. Ernetti claimed he watched the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, Marcus Tullius Cicero's speech to the Roman Senate in 63 BC, the founding of the Roman Empire, and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Apparently, Anetti and his team.
What was that called? Because we finna build one. I ain't even played
Founding of the Roman Empire. Chronovisor acted like a window. Ice was made of cathode rays and.
All right, let's look it up. Coronavirus. Wow. Wow. Chronovisor. Watch this. So, this dude here, he be having so much shit on this motherfucker. Y'all better watch out on him. Because he's trying to take. They made a black hole. They really did. Let's see. Mhm. All right, we'll get to that. Okay. Hold on, let's see.
Titanium metals that could receive light and sound signals on almost all wavelengths. The chronovisor acted like a window which people could use to witness historic events, and maybe the future ones too. Anetti claimed he watched the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, Marcus Tullius Cicero's speech to the Roman Senate in 63 BC, the founding of the Roman Empire, and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Apparently, Anetti and his team had peered into some of the most important biblical events. But like most other time-traveling tales, experts seem to have debunked most of Anetti's claims too. However, he maintained his stance until he died. Another time machine that became the hot topic in 2013 originated in Iran. This happened when an Iranian news agency called Fars reported a story claiming that a 27-year-old Iranian scientist had achieved the impossible. He had somehow invented a time machine that allowed people to witness the future. But a few days later, the story was...
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a laid-out path. Explore a
was removed with a statement from a government official who said no such breakthrough had been made and no time-traveling machine had been registered. Was it really a hoax, or did they not want anyone to find out about this invention? It's almost impossible to ignore the USA when it comes to the race of innovation and attempting to achieve the unthinkable, and their efforts to travel in time have been labeled the Philadelphia Experiment. It was a naval military experiment that was reportedly carried out in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in October 1943. It is said that the U.S. Navy destroyer escort USS Eldridge was rendered invisible to enemy devices. The project was also called Project Rainbow, and some sources allege that the warship traveled back in time almost 10 seconds. However, many have speculated that this interval was actually much larger. The US Navy refuted all these statements and speculations as baseless rumors. Another project by the US...
A lot of stuff is coming together. But let's check this out. Because I gotta.
Welcome back. Researchers are one step closer to making science fiction a reality. Spaceships have traveled through wormholes in movies like Star Wars, Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Interstellar. But now scientists at Caltech say they have simulated a baby wormhole and even transmitted a message through it. Astrophysicist Hakeem Alusei joins me live now for more on this. Hakeem, I love our chats because I need your help here. Help us lay people out, okay? Pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old and explain to me, what is a wormhole and why is this so important?
Thank you for having me. I love talking to you as well. So it's all about space and time and our understanding of it. So Albert Einstein and his pal Rosen showed us that if I have 2 points in space, say from here to here, and I want to travel from one to other, I have to go this entire distance. But the thing that Albert Einstein taught us is that space is like a malleable fabric, right? And so if you can bend it under the right conditions, then traveling from here to here means I don't have to go as far, and I can go through a little hole and go, boom, I made it. I'm there, right? And that's what we see in our science fiction. So imagine you're in a room and you're trying to get from one wall to the opposite wall. You could walk across the carpet, or you could warp it, right? You could bring the carpet to you, step across the curved carpet, and then let it unfold behind you. That's how warp drive works. But what we're talking about here is a wormhole. So a wormhole in reality is something that the laws of physics allow. And if you have enough stuff in space, you could create a black hole, and under certain conditions, 2 black holes can combine to create this shortcut through space-time. And so what these researchers have done is attempted to build one inside of a computer, but not just any computer, a quantum computer.
Doing this right? I'm attempting to make my own here with a little piece of paper. I don't think I'm doing it quite correctly.
Close enough. It's a hole.
Hakeem, the scientists say that they simulated a baby wormhole. So how far is that from creating something that we could actually see used in the real world?
Well, so what they've done is a very, very basic simulation. One of the problems that they have is that the quantum computers
just don't
have enough power to simulate actual reality. So what they did is what we call a holographic type of simulation. So with a hologram, you can take something that's, say, 2-dimensional and make it appear 3-dimensional. So what they did is they took a very simplified universe, 1-dimensional, and created this 2-dimensional black hole. So what do they mean by black hole? So if I take some matter and throw it into a real-life black hole, all the information of what that matter is gets scrambled up, okay? So what they have is one simulated black hole and the second simulated black hole. They put information, what they call a qubit, into one. It gets all scrambled up and all the information is destroyed. But then it pops out of the other wormhole in order, in sequence, just like they put it in. And the key thing about this, I said they use a quantum computer, is because real life black holes are unstable. You throw any matter in, the thing closes on, and you can't traverse from one location to another. So what they did for this is in the quantum realm, which quantum computers allow, you can have negative energies. So when the black hole, when the wormhole attempts to close, you hit it with negative energy, it keeps it open, and then the information can pass. So I know it's a lot, but that's what they did.
It is a lot. That part I got. That part I understood. It's definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Hakeem Alusi, I have so many more questions, but we are out of time. We will have to have you back. Thank you as always.
They cut him short because basically he just explained everything. You get yourself a quantum computer, and you can time travel. Basically what he said, right? In a nutshell. But yeah, I think I discovered some shit. Y'all subscribe, man. This is getting deep.